6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, hello. If you're out there, I'm here. Been a hell of a week, a hell of a month, whatever you want to call it. But anyhow, old Donald's had us up to his old tricks. Uh, he went out, he befriended Zelensky until he got elected, supported him and everything, and now he goes around and blames him for the start of the Russian invasion, and that's all wrong. That's just stupid, and it's just typical Trump. He never takes responsibility for anything. He's always blaming other people. And I'm sorry that I started off that way. I should have said hello first. But I'm just so pissed. I don't know whether this is getting out to anybody or not, and I can't really sit around and say yes or no to that, until I'm done here. It says it's live. It says I'm streaming and all the other good stuff. So I guess I'm out there. I don't really know. See if I can increase the volume a little bit here. It seems to be somewhat weak. Okay. How's that? No? All right. Let's try this. Yeah. Oh, no, it's okay. All right. I'm sorry about that. But, the first thing you read is he's throwing Zelensky under the bus. And that means he's throwing the rest of Europe. And for a reason, Europe's got no balls. They're not standing up to this fat freak. And Trump's approval rating is higher than it's ever been. And that's just telling you we have a really serious problem in this country. And in the world, and you can say goodbye to democracy. You can say goodbye to the freedom to do this and everything else pretty soon. I personally don't think he'll make it through the second year, but that's just an opinion. I'll get into that later on in the show. But he's a megalomaniac. He's a narcissistic dickhead. And he thinks he's the smartest person in the room. And that's just not possible. He's just not. The games he's playing, we have a group of unqualified people running the government. And all he's done, everybody's saying, this is great, this is great, this is great. All the stuff he's done since he's got into office, and all he's really done is created chaos. And people are going to start starving. People are going to start really bitching about higher prices. He's doing everything he can to ruin the economy, that's a specialization of his. He is what can I tell you? He ruins everything for everybody, he does. He's got a guarantee of going out and just destroying everything that you talk about, every business he's ever been involved in. And that's all lies, according to him. It's not him. It was other people. No, it wasn't. It was him. He operates like the mafia used to operate in the day, You saw a little bit of it in the Sopranos if you watch it. They take over a business and they gut it. They sell everything of value inside the company, and then they just walk away from it or destroy it or bankrupt it or whatever you want to do. And they just walk away from it. In the meantime, everybody that was associated with that business is out money, product, everything else. That's just the way they act. That's just the way he acts. That's just the way he did with the casinos. He sucked them dry. And they had shortage of operating cash. How can you be that much of a loser? There wasn't I don't think he had sports betting in his casino. I don't know. Maybe he did. But that's the only way he could have lost the money he did. And it's just ridiculous. And if you look at it, he didn't lose anything. He came out of that making money. Every time somebody he folds a business up, he walks away making money. This Bitcoin meme that he's got going, or whatever you want to call it. Uh, I don't know what it looks like. I think he and his wife are into it or something like that. And the deal with that is that he made $800,000, and everybody else that was involved in it or lost money or something like that along that line. He made, I mean, he made maybe 8 million, or I don't know how much money he made, but everybody else that was involved in it lost, substantially, or they only gained a minimum amount. That's how he sets everything up. That's the way he operates. That's cost people billions of dollars over the years. That's how he's got so much money. Not because he's smart, because he's a crook, and he steals it. He's Other people put their heart and soul into things, and then he just stabs them in the back and rips out their heart, and they're gone. And that's it. I'm not going to harm. I love veterans, and he ruined the Veterans Administration. Just about destroyed it. Too much fraud, he said. You've got two idiots that have never seen the inside of a military institution in their life, except on TV. Musk and Trump, and they're just ripping things apart. You got Hegsworth or whatever his name is, controlling the Defense Department, and they're just doing nothing. He just alerted the military that they're going to have to cut millions of dollars out of their budget. And that Republican Party has always been big on defense, spending money on defense, and now they're taking it away. These people are selling everybody out. You got, I don't know how much longer they're going to put up with Trump, or the American people are too stupid, I believe. I'm sorry to say that. I feel really bad saying that, because I always thought we were pretty smart people, but it doesn't look like we are. It looks like we're just sitting around twiddling our thumbs. And I've seen that with all my friends. All my friends have done this. And I don't know why, but all my friends have done that. And it drives me insane. They should just sort of sit there, complain. But they won't even put a sign in their window, Wow. He's calling himself a king now. Have you seen that? They posted pictures of him with a crown on his head. He's a lunatic. He's losing his mind. I don't know whether he's losing. I don't know how much of his stuff is just his masochism and not his masochism, his narcissism, or is he actually insane? But that's the way it looks right now. I don't know what to. I haven't got a solution. I guess I don't offer solutions. You know that. I just sit around and say things that maybe you listen to and maybe you don't. I find it difficult to express myself. There are other things we could have done. I mean, we could have stood up to Putin. We don't. Trump kisses his ass. And Trump's right. If he had been president, the war would never have happened in the Ukraine, because he would have ordered the surrender. He would never have given them a gun. He would order them to surrender. He would have made a deal with Putin, giving them half the friggin' country or all of it. Now Europe's got to worry. Are they worried? I don't know. You reach a level of comfort because everything's going fairly well. And when that happens, you stop trying to uh, fight things. You sort of say, "All right, let's just let it go. It'll be all right." Yeah, man, I gotta go. I'm going to my office and I'm gonna, put in a new air conditioner or something. I'm not gonna worry about it. It'll all work out in the long run. No, it won't, folks. No, it won't. If we changed everything today, this is what people don't understand. If we stopped everything that was going on today, and Trump was defeated and everything like that, we went back to not a Biden. I'm not sure who we would go to. That's part of the problem. It won't be Kamala, hopefully. Uh, you, it's going to take years to undo everything that he did because nobody's going to trust the government again. Our allies are never going to trust us. Nobody's going to trust us. That's just the way it's going to be. And I find that very upsetting. I don't know whether anybody else does or anybody cares. Obviously nobody's watching me, so I don't care. I'm out here talking to the wall, or actually talking to my closet behind me. Not even Lucy's in the room with me tonight. Lucy, something's wrong with Lucy. I'm hoping she's going to be all right. She's not eating, and I don't know what the problem is. I have to check her out again later on. But this is, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's uh, insanity. I have no idea that what we can do to stop him. I mean, somebody's going to stop him. You got this other guy, this professed genius who's losing money. He's hemorrhaging money. If it wasn't for the U.S. government, he wouldn't be making any money. The reason he's as rich as he is because of the U.S. government. And I'm speaking of Elon Musk. And anybody who thinks otherwise is crazy. He's the biggest con. And according to the people that some people that know what they're talking about in finances and what, he's a very big con job. I don't know what I'm talking about that much when it comes to finances. I work, even though I worked in the business, I didn't work in that scale or in that kind of money and those kind of problems. My job was to collect it, and I did. I was watching some show today. So watching, I can't remember. I don't remember exactly. But anyhow, the Vesco, this millionaire, this great embezzler from, I don't know, 60s, late 60s, early 70s, is a character on the show. And there was another guy around at the same time. And my father was friends with knew both of these guys. He wasn't friends with them. He got in business with deals with him. And I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure we got hurt in the deal. That my father's company got hurt in the deal. But I don't know that for sure. I told you my father had bodyguards when I was very, very little. And the only way I know that is I asked my mother what these two guys in suits were doing on the beach with me, and they said, "Well, you're bodyguards," and that's as far as the conversation went. Um, so I don't really know the whole story. And I never got to ask anybody, and when I did, nobody told me. My family's afraid of me. They're afraid to tell me things because I have a volatile temper, and I'll go do something about it. And you know, it's the same thing in politics. When I worked in politics, I couldn't deal with it. I got a volatile temper. I got in arguments with people because they were treating us like we were stupid. And of course, when you argue with somebody in politics, they think you're stupid. You're never right. You're wrong. I don't know whether I to this day, I don't know whether I was right or wrong, but I don't really care. I said what I had to say, and I got out of there. And I got out of it. That's all I can say, and then that's all I know about politics. But you have so many things going on in the world today that I can't follow it all. Not from where I am, and I'm not sure you can either. They sort of kind of tend to limit what you can and you can do, uh, but they do it. Um, when I say they limit your news. News has been censored since for a while now. I mean, how can you find out anything when everybody watches Fox News? And Fox News is just the political arm of the mega party. The publicity arm of the mega party. They're just it's like watching it really is like watching the Nazis take power back in the day. And I don't know. I wasn't alive. I mean, I was born in 1946, and the war ended in 1945. And I had a brother that went over after the war, when Germany was still an occupied country, basically. Uh, Berlin, anyhow, was. Uh, but uh, it's I don't know. I guess I want everything to go back to the way they were, but not really. I mean, I don't because I was a mess back in those days. I mean, I did the drugs, the alcohol, the whole 9 yards. But it's like I think every adult says that they wish they knew what they knew now when they were 17 years old. My problem is I knew it. I knew what I know now at 17. I just didn't do anything about it. You know, I was as bad as the people are today that are sitting in their living rooms, listening, watching, maybe, I don't know. I don't think anybody's watching right now. But you sit around and you go, man, everything's going to be okay. What can I do? I can't do anything. Well, you can start small in your communities and get your communities together to protest or to help or to support the people that Trump is screwing over. Because it might be you next week if you're on Social Security, like me. I don't know what I'm going to do if he takes my Social Security away. I know what shooting him isn't going to solve the problem. But people are saying, well, we'll get together, we'll get some people to, we'll vote, we'll get him out in in the midterms. And I'm sitting there saying, no, you won't. What are you possibly thinking about? How are you going to get him out in the midterms? That's not going to happen. If you even get midterm elections, I just don't, I don't see that happening, folks. I just don't see you getting the midterms, but we'll have to wait and see. Wait a minute. I have to do something here. Hopefully this will work. The batteries in my wireless headset just went bad. Ow. But I don't need it to talk to you. There's a... they're not working. Okay. It's it's I just forgot what I was talking about. Sorry, it's old age. But I come out here and I try to talk and I'm looking for somebody to talk to because it's very depressing when you look around at what's going on and you see that nobody's doing anything. You know, I People are starting to be careful what they post. Most of my Latin American friends are not posting on Facebook too much anymore because unless they live in Colombia, the ones that live in the United States are not. I don't see them posting anymore. You know, you don't hear about it, but it's there's a lot of raids going on and things like that for immigration, and you maybe you don't hear about it, but it's going on, folks. I'm sorry, but it's happening. It definitely is. But anyhow, I digress. You know, people are this useless thing of looking for condoms at the $50,000. That was, if that's true, that's fraud because they're 2 cents a piece or something like that. The government spends 2.5 cents a piece on condoms. $50,000 worth of condoms. I don't think they could find them. You know, I don't think there's that many available at one time. Maybe I don't know, but you're going to see. Um, Something happening there. I mean, it's just the AIDS epidemic that was starting to quiet down just a little bit, but it was quieting down. It wasn't the huge epidemic it was when it first came around. You know, they blame that on the homosexuals. Yeah, right. I know two girls that had AIDS back when I was working in the restaurant industry. They didn't get it by being gay. Trust me. And I don't know how many men they slept with. I got lucky. I almost slept with one of them. And then somebody just I overheard a conversation, and then that was the end of that. You know, nice girl too. But that's going to come back. And the first COVID, that comes out, first whatever next disease is, comes around and whacks us with a pandemic. We're not prepared to handle that. Uh, Nobody's prepared to handle that. Uh, I don't know why, but they're just not. They're not prepared to handle that, and it's you got an idiot that doesn't believe in it. When you're head of a division of the department that's dependent upon science, and you don't believe in science, you really got a problem there, And that's Kennedy, and his whole family has denounced him. That's a famous family. Robert Kennedy, former Attorney General of the United States, assassinated while running for president. That's his father, you know. And his father's like flipping over in his grave. You got Vance that thinks, oh, that's I don't know what religion he is really, but he's sitting there. He has an Indian wife, and he's going around saying things that I just don't know where they're coming from. But I'm fairly certain that they don't want him to be president. And although he'll be president for a short period anyhow, probably. See, my belief is that Trump is so off the wall, and there are a couple of senators that are starting to look that way, but it's not the senators that are going to change the things. It's going to be the money people behind these guys. This is what I said a long time ago about Trump. It's not him. You have to watch the people around him. So you got this guy Thiel, and you've got Musk, and you've got a few others, and they're going to get tired of this bullshit. And sooner or later, somebody in the world is going to stand up. And I'm not talking about Putin. Putin doesn't even stand up when he talks to Trump. He sits down. He has to bend over to talk to Trump. You know, that's kind of weird too, isn't it? I'm I never once wanted Donald Trump to be president of the United States. When I say I liked Trump at one time, that was way back when he wrote The Art of the Deal, because I thought that was a fairly good book and descriptive book until I realized just how wrong everything in it was. It's immoral. It really, if you follow those policies, can you get rich? Only if you have money. That's the problem in our country right now. A stone broke kid, like you have these guys, like what's the name that developed the cookies? I don't remember his name, but anyhow, and he was basically broke. You know, look at Colonel Sanders. He was out of work. He was 60 years old. He's retired. He wasn't rich. And he started Kentucky Fried Chicken, which, by the way, now is Texas Fried Chicken. They moved to Texas. But two things in life are certain right now. Trump doesn't tell the truth, and Trump will stab you in the back the first chance he gets. And he's doing that to the American people. And unless you have a country full of bigots, which apparently we do, you know, I think the only people in this country that could save us are the Native Americans. And they don't want to save the white people at all. Trust me. They don't want to save the black people either. Because the Buffalo Soldiers committed a lot of atrocities during the Indian Wars. And the Indians remember that stuff, even though the American history books don't tell you about it. But that's, another day, another story. I can't believe nobody watches this. I used to get people to see. I guess people watch my videos in the morning. Maybe I'll do one in the morning next week or tomorrow or something like that. You should check around 11 o'clock in the morning and see if you can find me. That's when I post the videos that I make. I make them earlier than that. But I always felt there's nobody's watching them in the morning. Everybody that watches my videos watches them the day after they're done or later that in the evening and whatnot. But I have to tell you something. I'm really, really, really upset with what's going on, and I don't know how to correct it or get you to correct it or tell you what to do. I'm not sure that protesting like we did in the 60s is going to accomplish anything. I honestly think that it's dangerous. Uh, I think Trump would love to see a Tiananmen Square, you know, sort of situation, maybe in Washington or something like that. He got all upset because he couldn't talk to the National Guard into shooting people, going out and shooting protesters. This man is not a well man, and his views of society and everything are so far out of line. And I just think that, we're doomed as a country. I just don't see any place for it to go. You know how you get a feeling for something, and you say, I'm going to go do this. It's going to get harder to do that. Really going to be very difficult to go out and do something new and exciting because you're going to be too busy trying to pay your bills because you're not going to have the. I'm not even sure the credit system will stay in business. He has once he reaches into the financial markets and starts playing with that, then we're really screwed because that's how he screws everything up. You know, but you have a man that faces no political consequences, and Elon Musk. You can't. There's nothing they can do to this clown. You know, richest man in the world. He's He's like Trump. He's paper money. He's like a. He doesn't have cash. He's got a lot of money, but as rich people go, he doesn't have cash. You got Buffett's got cash. It's hidden in his bed. It's hidden everywhere. You got Bezos from Amazon. He's got cash. got a ton of cash. Trump don't have a ton of cash. He can't even pay his bills because he's cash poor. He gets his money from the American public and his PACs, which are still going because he's still got legal bills to pay. He doesn't pay a friggin' legal bill yet. I want to see him in a lot of trouble. I really do. I think that I always thought that, what they did when they charged him in the what, the papers disappearing and whatnot, taking home the documents, the document case. I believe I never saw the right charge, and the right charge would have been treason because he was going to say, "What other reason do you? A man who doesn't read the intelligence reports that are handed to him on a daily basis, a man who didn't read, according to people that are around him at the time, didn't read anything except the messages on the internet. You go out and you tell him that he's stupid and illiterate, and you go after him, he'll go crazy. He's not. He's just not right. And I mean, but yet he wants to be. He wants another. He wants to go on for a third term. Now there are enough American people to put him up for a third term. Don't get me wrong. The bigotry in this country is unbelievable. And now I'm not in your country, but I understand what. I'm an American citizen. I lived there for over 60 years, and I understand bigotry. It's never gone away. You know, but black people have you have black people that are just like everybody else, and you have black people that think they're owed the world, and you have black people that hate white people for all kinds of reasons. Some of them are legitimate, but most of them have nothing to do with them. You know, um, I'm supposedly got a little bit of American Indian in me. I don't know, so I've always been partial to the Indians because I love nature, and I have a lot of their traits inside me, and and what I spent my whole life sitting around and watching karma take care of my enemies and the people that I don't like and people that have hurt me. I've watched karma come around and kick their ass all over the country, really bad, through illness, through whatever. Karma comes back. Do I have some do me? Oh yeah, I've screwed over a few people in my life, not for money or anything like that. At least I don't think so. If I did, I don't remember it, which makes it worse, I guess. But I've screwed over some women in my life. Every man has done that at one time or another. Because you start out thinking with the wrong part of your body, so when you finally realize what you're doing, you got to walk away from it, and by then that person is hurt. And that's just the way it is. I've always thought that those feelings that make me change is something looking over my shoulder telling me I need to, end this now, sort of deal. But I wish I could say to you that, everything's going to be all right. And it's just not. It's not going to happen. But that's I don't know what you call it. That's just uh, it's not karma. It's just fate, I guess. I think that this country has been lucky so far, but it still didn't react fast enough. I mean, the bikini. It's like looking at the. Let's just take the bikini. The bikini comes out in Europe and is a supersized success, and it takes years to get accepted in America. Okay, nude beaches have been in Europe for 50, 60, 70 years before they were 50 years before they were in America, allowed in America, and only in certain places, because we allow morals and religion to step in. And the thing about the bikini and the thing about nude beaches and whatnot, there's nothing dirty about them. There's nothing immoral about them. It's just an expression. It's just, people trying to look a certain way or something. They're not looking to go get laid on the beach or anything like that. This is just a lifestyle choice. They enjoy nature and they enjoy showing their body off, and it's just, it gets to be, that's the thing I resent mostly about Trump and whatnot, and his people. Sure they're screwing with all of the stuff that's going on, but they're trying to tell us how to live our lives. And we fought a revolution so that we could be an independent thinking country, so that we didn't have a ruler telling us what to do, But I don't know. I sit there and say, well, it looks that way, though, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like that's what's going on? They're out there uh, telling us what to do. Pretty soon if it was up to Musk, he's like Vance is almost the same way. It's the maid syndrome that from the movie Handmaid Tales. You're just there to serve us. We'll tell you what to do. But in their cases, in the politicians' cases, that goes for everybody. This is how you're going to lead your life. They're headed for a two-tier system: the haves and have-nots. That's basically where we're going. If you're on the have, and I'm a have-not, and so are a lot of other people like me. And we're going to be looking for what we can do to stop it. How can we get? How can we do what we're doing without losing what we have? How can we improve our lives? How can we become a have? And I don't want to be like the haves that are out there now. You know, um, so I don't know what's going to happen in that regard. We just have to wait and see. But it's one of those things. Hi, my wife just walked in the house. I'm live. Okay, she doesn't want to come in. She's leaving. I don't blame her. I'm boring myself sitting here. Um, but anyhow, so let's see what happens with this. I don't know. Apparently, nobody's going to look at these things, and I don't know whether anybody can look at these things. I have to set up another computer in here uh, and check it out. All right. But listen, in the meantime, let me tell you something. I wish nothing but the best for everybody. I'm not going to tell you to hang in there. Get mad. Do something. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can get our country back. All right, everybody. Take care.